Hello children, today we are going to discuss autotrophic nutrition. So in the previous session we have discussed different modes of nutrition, that is autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. In autotrophic nutrition, where the organisms prepare their own food for their survival and they use it for their growth, maintenance and maintaining the temperature, and at the same time repairing of the body. All these things we have discussed in the previous session, but speciality about this autotrophic nutrition is they prepare their own food. The autotrophs, the organisms, they prepare their own food. Such kind of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. In this autotrophic nutrition, we have a special interest about plants. Why only plants? There are several other organisms like algae, cyanobacteria, purple sulfur bacteria. Like this, there are some bacteria which perform autotrophic nutrition, but we are specifically interested about these plants. Why we are interested about plants? Being human beings, we are dependent upon plants. Not only human beings, many other heterotrophic organisms, they depend upon plants for their nutrition. So these plants are called as universal food providers. How exactly these plants acquire their food? They prepare their food. There is a process called photosynthesis. This photosynthesis is a process where the plant will use light energy, photo in the sense light energy, to synthesize its food. It uses light energy to synthesize food. So what kind of food materials the plant would produce using light energy? It's starch, next to that lipids, proteins. So these kind of complex molecules would be synthesized by plant using photosynthesis. Is the light only the thing the plant will absorb to prepare these complex food molecules? No, it absorbs minerals along with water, from soil. This is, other than light, this is the second one it uses. Water is the major thing. Along with water, it takes up minerals. And third to that, it absorbs CO2 from the atmosphere for this process of photosynthesis. Is these three are enough? No. Plant has a specific pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, which is present within chloroplast of the plant cell. So this chlorophyll pigment carries out this photosynthesis process. This chlorophyll pigment will enable the plant to absorb this light energy, and absorbing this light energy using water molecules and carbon dioxide, the plant would perform photosynthesis. So how exactly the human being got to know about this photosynthesis? There are many scientists who has worked upon this photosynthesis, how exactly the plant perform photosynthesis, to know how exactly plant perform photosynthesis. So let us see who are those scientists, what all they found out regarding this photosynthesis. Initially, in olden days, in 16th or 17th century, the scientists, or else the people who are very much enthusiastic about this particular process, they thought that the plant would acquire its mass, means its food, from soil alone. But is that true? Will plant acquire its food from soil? No. It won't take up soil. They assume that the plant will consume soil for its growth and maintenance. But is that true? No. The plant won't consume soil for its growth. So this was disproved by a scientist called Van Helmont. So he disproved that plant won't consume soil for its growth. There is some other process where the plant would get its food. There is some other process, not consuming soil. This was proved by Van Helmont by performing an activity which was told in your class 7 or 8. So now we shall see in advance, what exactly the scientists followed by Van Helmont has told. Now we shall see there is a scientist, one more scientist. It's not a process which was discovered by a single scientist. There are many scientists. Still the scientists are working upon this process of photosynthesis to know the secrets of photosynthesis. So one such scientist is C.B. Van Neel. C.B. Van Neel. So he is the scientist. He used to work with the bacteria, that is purple sulfur bacteria. What is that bacteria? Purple bacteria. So what is the speciality of this purple sulfur bacteria? This purple sulfur bacteria has ability to prepare its own food. It's an archaebacteria, old bacteria which prepares its own food. So he used to work with this bacteria, and what he found out was he has given this purple sulfur bacteria with H2S, hydrogen sulfide. He has given hydrogen sulfide to this bacteria as a material to carry out the process of preparation of food. Then he observed that this purple sulfur bacteria, on using this H2S, along with this H2S, it has used light energy and produced sulfur gas. So this is what observed by this scientist on performing activity by using purple sulfur bacteria. He observed that the sulfur gas was released, S2 gas was released. Then he got to know the similar process. There is a chance that a similar process is being carried out in the plants also. Then he proposed that a similar process is taking place in the plants as the purple sulfur bacteria is carrying out. So he has given a basic equation for the process which is happening within the plant. For the process which is happening within the plant, C.B. Van Neel has given a basic equation that goes like this: CO2 plus 2H2O. Listen, he has given a basic equation, not full equation of photosynthesis, where he has written carbon dioxide and water molecules are used to prepare a basic carbohydrate like this. Along with that, water and oxygen would be released. This is carried out in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. So he has given this basic equation on comparing the process which is being happening in the plant with the process happening in the purple sulfur bacteria. Later on, a series of activities and experiments were carried out by scientists, and there was a famous scientist called Robert Hill. Who is that scientist? Robert Hill. After C.B. Van Zyl, Robert Hill has conducted several experiments and he has given a full equation for this photosynthesis. So how exactly the photosynthesis is happening and what are the molecules are getting formed by this photosynthesis process. He has given the 6 equation. This is very important equation which was given by Robert Hill. Scientist name Robert Hill. You will see the Hill's reaction while we learn in depth of this photosynthesis. Now it's an introduction for this photosynthesis process. 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to, in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it gives rise to a starch C6 or else glucose. You can say glucose 6H2O plus 6O2. This is the equation, water and oxygen, carbon dioxide and water. This is the complete equation which was given by Robert Hill after performing a series of experiments. So this is an introduction for the photosynthesis process. Later on we shall see the factors essential for the photosynthesis process. What are the factors essential for the photosynthesis? You know those factors. While introducing the topic of photosynthesis itself, I have told you what are the essential factors useful for carrying out this photosynthesis process. What are the essential factors useful? One, it is CO2, other it is water, and next it is sunlight, next it is chlorophyll. So all these are essentials which are required to carry out the photosynthesis process. So we shall see some activities in the next session to see whether the photosynthesis can be carried out without using these essentials. Without these carbon dioxide, sunlight, chlorophyll, can the photosynthesis be carried out or not? That is what we are going to see in the next sessions with the help of some activities. Till then, bye bye.